Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Ray Collins. It is Wednesday, August 23rd, and you've been drinking coffee now since 2:30 a.m.
I have. I've been drinking all sorts of coffee, so please work with me and understand if I get a little hyper here and there.
Unlike other days.
Well, yeah.
Thank you for the warning. Let's go over to Josh Stone now in for John Scalzi. Good morning, Josh.
Hi, good morning. You know, I'm the outlier. Coffee puts me to sleep. It's nothing like a big cup of coffee right before I go to sleep.
Interesting. That's different.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Really?
It's weird, yeah.
Wow.
I drink tea,
Yeah.
but coffee, I don't know. I like
It's like
coffee
the
ice cream,
opposite
though.
for me.
You what, John?
Anyway, all right, let's talk about the weather. You know, the temperature is right at the dew point right now, actually. So there's areas, especially in low-lying areas, of patchy fog. So just look out for that on your morning commute. Not much of a wind right now, but this radar is actually going to start to light up later this afternoon and early this evening with tropical moisture coming into the area. We'll break that down for you in a few moments from now. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Checking Suncoast first alert traffic. State Road 70 showing some buildup already over Lockwood Ridge heading toward 301. Farther south, little blip there as you wait for the light at the Ringling Bridge on Gulfstream. And farther south, all clear at 5:01 on your Wednesday morning.
Our top story this morning, the controversial Confederate statue in Manatee County will be taken down and relocated.
Commissioners voted 4-3 to move it from the old courthouse. It was a contentious, emotional debate. Some wanted to let residents decide in a referendum next year, but the majority felt it should be moved in the name of public safety and to fend off more protests. Commissioner Carol Whitmore said she didn't like being bullied.
No matter how we feel, this is somebody that if that guy comes back and incites violence and all those neo-Nazis show up, somebody could get killed. So what do?
You can actually spend millions of dollars in law enforcement protection because they have a responsibility to protect that courthouse and protect citizens. So we continue that going on based on our inability to do what's right. Move it to another location.
So the county will spend $12,000 to remove and store the monument. They'll then hold further public hearings before deciding where to place it.
Meanwhile, the Florida NAACP is asking Governor Rick Scott to remove a Confederate monument, flags, and memorials from the grounds of the state capitol. The civil rights group also wants state lawmakers to ban all Confederate monuments from public lands across Florida. Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum, who is a Democratic candidate for governor, has also called for the removal of the Capitol Confederate monument and others like it. He says the rebel symbols should be moved instead to museums.
If they belong as a part of our history, if that's what folks who are big advocates of these monuments and flags argue, why wouldn't we work actively together in a very unified way to put them in their proper place?
Recently, there has been a renewed push to replace a statue at the U.S. Capitol of Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith with a statue instead of Mary McLeod Bethune, an educator and civil rights activist who founded what is now known as Bethune-Cookman University. Legislation was filed in both the Florida House and Senate this week for the 2018 session to make that change. And over in North Florida, a group called Save Our Southern Heritage is calling for a public vote on the city's Confederate monuments. It comes after the council president asked city officials for an inventory of all Confederate monuments and markers within the city. The council president says she will submit legislation to relocate those monuments to museums for appropriate historical context. But Save Our Southern Heritage is saying not so fast. They want people to have a say.
Wherever they were put, in front of courthouses, town squares, they were put there so the people would not forget the sacrifice that the soldiers made.
The group says it commissioned a survey after the clashes in Charlottesville, and it shows 77% of Jacksonville residents don't want the monuments removed. Meanwhile, an opposing group, the North Side Coalition of Jacksonville, wrote an open letter to Jacksonville's mayor. Well, it is 5:05 this morning, and our other top story involves shark fishing off the Venice Pier that may soon be banned.
Yeah, the issue came up during a police presentation yesterday, and as Christopher Brantley tells us now, two reasons have sparked further discussion.
In their first meeting back from summer break, the Venice City Council took on an issue that became big while they were away. This now famous video of a shark allegedly being dragged by a fishing boat. Venice's Mayor John Hollick surprised the room when he suggested shark fishing should be prohibited, and he wasn't alone in his thinking.
To me, intuitively, and I'm not a fisherman, perhaps shark fishing too close to a beach might not make intuitive sense, and that's why I'd like to gather some more information on the topic.
Vice Mayor Rich Katira worries about fishermen luring sharks close to the pier, a place popular among beachgoers. Currently, the Venice Fishing Pier is among a very small number of public facilities that allows shark fishing.
It looks like some individuals took it upon themselves sometime in the past to have drilled holes in the top of the railings.
Lieutenant Eric Hill of the Venice Police Department was originally giving council a presentation on a sting operation conducted by VPD to bust folks doing illegal activities, including smoking marijuana. Council quickly shifted to the current state of the pier, noting an $80,000 net that was installed underneath they say has been torn up by the large hooks needed to catch sharks. That, included with the alleged shark dragging video and proximity to the beach, made for a discussion virtually no one was expecting. In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A vote is expected today on a controversial development that includes thousands of homes and condos. Manatee County commissioners spent an entire day last week taking comments on the Aqua by the Bay project, but decided to delay the vote until today. It's a medallion home development led by Carlos Baruf. It would sit on 529 acres off El Conquistador Parkway along Sarasota Bay. Now, some of the condo buildings could reach more than 100 feet tall. We'll have more details on this story today at noon.
Passengers might notice some upgrades at the Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport. The FAA gave the airport authority a $7 million grant. It'll be used for two projects. The first includes installing 13 new passenger loading bridges to replace the existing 28-year-old bridges. Another portion will be paying for a creation of a runway incursion mitigation program, which will provide safety improvements to the taxiways. Both projects should be done by next year.
New developments in the ongoing death investigation in Inglewood. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office working with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office and Sarasota Police to locate the car that deputies say may have been used by the killer. The maroon Grand Marquis was located last night in Sarasota. It's currently being processed by the forensic unit. Investigators are still looking for a man who left a home on 11th Avenue where one person was found dead and two others were injured on Sunday. Deputies have not yet released any information about the victims. It
is 5:08 now here on the Suncoast. Reaction is mixed to the president's proposed path forward in Afghanistan. This has been America's longest war in 16 years now. Opponents say thousands of U.S. troops have been killed and there's still no end in sight. But supporters say they're glad the president is putting a new emphasis on finding and killing terrorists.
I think that what the president did last night and the path that he laid forward, it makes a lot of sense. He's really deferring to our generals and our military leaders rather than setting some timetable or some, number of troops out there that has been done in the previous administration. So we need to win. We've had a lot of lives lost. It's cost us a fortune. We need to get out of there, but we need to make sure when we get out it is under victory.
It's fairly obvious that he's done a 180-degree turn from everything that he spoke about for the last few years, that we should get out under any circumstance. I never think it's a good idea to be open-ended about how long something should last. And history tells us that Afghanistan is something that has bogged people down for centuries.
The president says his new policy will have no timeline on the withdrawal of U.S. troops. If you're in the Northport area, be on the lookout for rattlesnakes. City officials say they have recently received a report of a diamond-backed rattlesnake biting a dog. It happened near Price and Biscayne Roads. They've also received two other reports of smaller snake bites in the past year. The Florida Poison Control Center is hoping to receive pictures if anyone does spot a snake.
The Sarasota County Commission is setting aside the entire day today to hear arguments from those in favor and against developing land near the celery fields. The commission plans to hear opinions about putting a construction and demolition waste facility at the corner of Apex Road and Palmer Boulevard. That discussion starts at 9 a.m. this morning, and just before that begins, those against the project plan to host a peaceful protest in front of the Contractor Commission building on Ringling Boulevard.
Plans are back on to build a hospital in the city of Northport. The city submitted a letter of intent to the Agency for Healthcare Administration. The application should be submitted by September 8th. The city says it's grateful the group is looking to bring a freestanding hospital to Northport. Commissioners voted just last year against the idea, but they have since reconsidered. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office calling one of their own a hero, Willie Finkley. A local couple, Neil and Claudia Cook, was driving on Moccasin Wallow Road Sunday when they had car issues. They had smoke in the car, and they tried to get out of the car, but the windows and doors wouldn't work. The deputy was off duty and saw the car burning. He got out a gun and shot out and kicked out the windows to save the couple inside from that burning car.
Well, it looks like dogs will soon have 2 new places to play in the city of Sarasota. City commissioners want to add 2 off-leash dog parks at 2 existing parks. They include Gillespie Park off 10th Street and Whitaker Gateway Park. On Monday, the commission approved funding for both dog parks, which will cost around $212,000. The next step will be to put the projects out to bid. Construction is expected to begin in just a few months.
Isn't that funny? It would cost $212,000 to make it a dog park? Just put up a sign. Dogs allowed.
Well, you have to put fencing around if it's an off-leash park.
yeah.
So that way they can run around.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to walk the dog over the next few days with the heavy rain coming down.
Oh, wow.
Tropical moisture moving in, so looks like it's going to be a little bit of a change to our weather. We've been so dry for a while, so actually a nice change, but a lot of rain at one time can kind of cause problems.
Right.
Talk about it.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert traffic. And our Linda Carson introduces us to a woman whose career shocked her family in this week's edition of Amazing Suncoast Woman.
And later in the hour, a closer look at the president's rally in Phoenix, heated words inside and rocks and bottles outside. That story at 5:33.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
Call 1-800-671-4817.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Good to see you on this Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi today. Well, we're starting off our Wednesday looking at two different areas here in the tropics that could cause some issues. We'll talk about that in just a second. Leave you hanging there. Temperatures right now in the mid to upper 70s, and actually here in Sarasota, the temperature is right at the dew point, which means there could be some areas of patchy fog. So look out for that on your morning commute this morning. What can we expect today? Another warm day. Our heat indices could climb up to over the century mark once again. It was hot yesterday. We topped out at 96. Man, our average is 90. We're 1 degree shy of the tying the record. We'll have some afternoon and evening showers thanks to this tropical moisture coming in tonight. Will linger into Thursday, and actually, depending on what this does, Friday and Saturday, and wrapping up hopefully on Sunday. This is what we're looking at now. It's quiet along the Suncoast. This is not an organized system. This is a disturbance, a tropical disturbance, but it does look to increase the moisture here. Been so dry for a long time, we're definitely going to get rain. Sometimes we don't like to have all this rain coming down at once. I've seen reports that it's possible some areas, at least in southern Florida, could pick up 6 to 7 inches of rain out of this. Fortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to come our way, but we could get 2 to 4 inches easily in some spots. Right now, though, the radar is quiet. Put the futurecast into motion, increasing clouds today. Look what happens late this afternoon, early this evening. The beginnings of this tropical moisture makes its way into the peninsula here. And then we get another round as we go through our Thursday. As you can see, heavy rain in certain areas. So let's show you a little bit more in detail what's going on here. Tropical moisture will be coming in from this system, and it's an area of low pressure. It's not organized. I don't think it's going, I mean, it may intensify a little bit, but I don't think it's going to become a tropical storm. But the models do take it generally into the peninsula and then slingshot it back to the north and east. An other area we're watching, though it's not going to affect us, but this could be the big weather story as we get into the weekend, is the remnants of Harvey actually could really blow up here where the waters are very warm in the western Gulf of Mexico and track up towards Texas, possibly towards Galveston, maybe affecting Houston, and that could cause a whole bunch of problems because this storm could actually intensify into a hurricane. For the boaters today, high tide will be at 2:03 this afternoon. Beach and boating forecast. Just watch out for the storms this afternoon, but sea is 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bays. Our high today tops at 93, but the heat index could be about 100 degrees once again, so it's going to be warm, but increasing clouds, and there's your tropical moisture coming in for the next few days. Guys?
All right, thank you so much, Josh. Taking a look at traffic this morning in Manatee County, looks like 301 heading northbound, seeing some congestion. Also 41 as you pass by Cortez Road, heading south, seeing some more cars on the roadway. I-75 is clear though, but there is some congestion in Sarasota on Bee Ridge Road, also towards the Bayfront, and 41 heading southbound as we head into South County. Pretty quiet at 518 on your Wednesday morning. Today's amazing Suncoast woman chose a career that had her family on edge for quite some time when she first started.
But now they've seen good reason why she's good at it and how she helps a lot of people. Our Linda Carson has her story.
Trina Eggert was born in Iowa. Her parents split up.
I moved to Dallas, Texas with my siblings and my dad when they divorced. So I mainly grew up in Dallas.
It was a happy time.
I was very fortunate being raised by my father. Every day he showed empathy and compassion to others. And because he did that, I learned from that, and I am able to pass that on to the families that I meet with every day.
She moved to Sarasota and got her associate's degree from State College of Florida. She wanted a career helping people.
I came to the realization that I could help people at the end of life and help families cope with a very difficult time. I decided to go back to school, and that's when I went to St. Petersburg College. Did the funeral service program there.
She'd been inspired as a child when a friend died.
I was very young and attended the funeral, and there was just a lot of comfort from the funeral home, from the funeral director there. It really changed my outlook on the end of life.
And so she attended a school for funeral directors in St. Pete. Her husband cheered her on.
My husband, he truly has been a good support system, and he supports everything I do.
And so does her son.
He will be 21 in October. He's in the United States Air Force.
She met Scott Kinney when they were students in St. Pete.
She's real, she's genuine. That really struck me, because this is not a profession that you can't be real in.
We realized that we had the same core values and what we wanted, what we envisioned the funeral home to be like.
And so they started their own funeral home business.
We took a big leap. We went out on a limb, and here we are, and we couldn't be any more happy. We are doing very well.
She believes that's because she and Scott care so deeply for their customers.
We're here to listen, to be supportive, to be there for the families.
And her life lesson?
I think we need to keep the empathy and the compassion alive.
When a family comes to a funeral home, it's often one of the most difficult times of their life. But this amazing Suncoast woman makes sure this very difficult time is also a time of comfort and peace. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
She had an experience as a young girl and pursued her passion.
Yeah.
Good for her, doing very well. 5:21 right now, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Samsung gearing up to unveil its brand new Galaxy Phone 8. We'll have a preview.
And coming up at 5:33, new developments in the USS John McCain collision. The latest details on the search for 10 missing sailors. Stay with us, those stories and more when we come back.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I want to thank our friend Kyle Lundquist for sending this picture at the beach, the Venice Dog Beach, and a rainbow off in the distance.
Oh, that's nice. I saw a rainbow. There was a double rainbow that happened over the weekend. That was a beautiful shot as well. I had lots of people sending me pictures on my Facebook right there. You can send us some pictures this morning if you see any good sunrises.
Yeah, check out our pages. Feel free to like them. Plenty of debates and pictures on there you might like to get involved in. Welcome back, 5:24 on this Wednesday morning.
Well, Samsung is getting ready to unveil its new smartphone.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the first look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 8.
The flagship phone will be unveiled today, bigger than this, the S8, with improvements to its voice assistant, camera, and stylus. It'll likely ship in September.
The Note 8's predecessor was recalled due to batteries that caught fire. And Verizon is rolling out some new data plans. The Go Unlimited plan starts at $75 a line. It limits video quality and can slow your connection.
The Beyond Unlimited plan is $85 per line, offering high-def video, but it can slow your streaming once you've hit 22 gig as a limit. And Walmart is expanding its grocery delivery service with Uber.
The service is now available in Dallas and Orlando. Until now, it had only been available in Phoenix and Tampa. Customers can shop online and then pay an extra $9.95 for an Uber delivery.
All right, it's getting competitive out there.
Convenient.
Yeah.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Fruit of the Loom.
Sarah, could you come in here?
Yep, coming. Oh, wow. What kind of underwear are those?
They're breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
What are those?
Guys.
They're breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
Yes, they have these tiny holes to let the air through. Can you help me?
Wow, well, we will look at those. Can you feel this?
Yeah. Turn around for me. Seriously?
Slower. Go slower. I don't think you should get that dress. It doesn't fit.
Stay cool with breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the endless summer sale. Save 30% on paints and stains August 24th through September 4th. Color is just around the corner. Find your neighborhood store at sherwinwilliams.com/save.
More pet parents are turning to grain-free Blue Freedom to help their dogs be at their best. Made with the finest natural ingredients, Blue Freedom has no grains, no glutens, and for some dogs, there's no better diet. When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Attention! Royal Seas Cruises has just announced their deal of the day, a $99 Caribbean cruise for 2 people. This amazing cruise deal to the Bahamas is only available to the first 500 callers who register in your area today. So get ready to write down this number and act fast. We know that the best type of traveler is a repeat guest, so we're offering this $99 Caribbean cruise to prove it. That's $99 per couple, including your stateroom, all your delicious meals, full spa, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, and more. Come see why we were voted one of the top 10 best overall cruises by Cruise Critic. We're so sure you'll enjoy yourself and become a repeat customer that you're getting this deal of the day for the unbelievable low price of just $99 per couple. But you've got to act fast. Pick up the phone and be one of the first 500 callers to take the Caribbean cruise of a lifetime for just $99 per couple. Call right now or log on to royalcruisenow.com.
Call 800-906-0489.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information when severe weather threatens the Suncoast. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Hi, I'm Jeff Benninghoff, the General Manager here at ABC 7.
Did you know more people get their news from local broadcasters than those big national cable outlets? In fact, the average newscast at a Raycom media station delivers nearly 8 times the audience of a national cable newscast. At ABC7, that's what our local commitment is all about. Severe weather warnings, important news and information where you live, your favorite ABC shows, and sports. We're proud to be your neighbor and serve the Suncoast community. Unfortunately, there's a danger. DirecTV system is about to drop us and break that critical link to our viewers. We're currently working hard to make sure DirecTV customers continue to have access to ABC7 without interruption, but there's a chance they will not agree to a fair deal and decide to drop the station from their system. We're committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. To find out more information and how you may be able to help, please go to ourlocalcommitment.com/WWSB. And remember, you always have choices. We are free over the air at mysuncoast.com, our free news and weather apps on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and also available through other local providers. Thank you.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, an eventful night in Phoenix after President Trump goes to Arizona for a rally.
Plus, we're learning more about the latest Navy collision that left several sailors injured and others missing. We'll tell you what divers are looking for this morning.
And who wants $700 million? Another Powerball drawing is tonight. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
I saw you raising your hand for $700 million.
Yeah, you know what? I actually think this time I might go get a ticket just because they've drawn it 21 times now and nobody has gotten it. Continues to go.
Yeah.
I'll share with people.
You don't mind?
I mean, I just want to win some of it. Jeez.
You will share with us, though, if you win?
I'll share with you, Ray. Maybe just a little bit, though.
All right, well,
I'll share more with Josh Stone.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
oh, that's nice. You guys just filling in, huh? Yeah. Hey, Josh.
How you doing? Well, I have your $7 million forecast coming
there
up.
We go.
But may not be what people are hoping for. Anyway, we'll show you in just a second, but let's talk about the current temperatures right now. Upper 70s, but the temperatures are actually right at the dew point, so there could be some areas of patchy fog, so look out for that for your morning commute. Quiet on the radar now, but not so much in southeast Florida. We have a disturbance that's going to come in here, bring plenty of tropical moisture, light up this radar by this afternoon, early this evening, and into tomorrow. And we'll talk more about this tropical system a little bit later. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Josh. A little build-up there north of the river in an area called Memphis. A little congestion northbound heading toward the Skyway Bridge. Otherwise, pretty good right now in Manatee County. Were you going to sing just now?
I said not Tennessee.
No, a different one entirely. 41 northbound as you leave Fruitville and head toward University, slowing down there already for some reason. And South County, one little blip on the screen, Venice up toward Nokomis, 5:33 now on your Wednesday morning.
Topping our news this morning, the latest on President Trump's Phoenix rally, which turned into a day of protests that quickly became unruly.
During the rally, the president attacked the news media, Arizona Senator John McCain, and those protesters outside. ABC's Janae Norman has details.
A heavy police presence, pepper spray, and protesters. Tensions were high in Phoenix as supporters and protesters squared off outside. Inside, a sea of red hats welcomed President Trump. In front of a crowd of thousands, Trump rehashed his response to the Charlottesville violence, attacking the media for its coverage.
Then I said, racism is evil. Did they report that I said that racism is evil? You know why? Because they are very dishonest people.
The president saying his words were perfect, omitting that he said both sides were to blame. The comment that drew so much criticism and led the Phoenix mayor to plead for the president to postpone the rally, saying Trump doused racial tensions with gasoline.
Well, look, the president blew it after Charlottesville. I mean, it was really a failure of moral leadership.
Ignoring that request, Trump took aim at Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for failing to repeal and replace Obamacare and threatened to shut down the government over his border wall.
Believe me, if we have to close down our government, we're building that wall.
And Trump hinted at a pardon of Joe Arpaio, the former sheriff convicted of criminal contempt for defying a federal judge's order to stop racial profiling in his roundups of immigrants.
I'll make a prediction. I think he's going to be just fine.
The former director of national intelligence, James Clapper, called the president's Phoenix rally downright scary and disturbing. He also questioned the president's motivation and Trump's fitness to hold the office. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
5:35 this morning, and the U.S. Navy is ordering a top-to-bottom review of its operations after a fourth mishap involving an American warship in the Pacific this year. Some remains of 10 missing U.S. sailors have been found after that collision between the USS John McCain, a guided missile destroyer, colliding with an oil tanker east of Singapore earlier this week. U.S. Navy and Marine divers have now joined that search, looking in the sealed compartments aboard the McCain.
The divers were able to locate some remains in those sealed compartments. Additionally, the Malaysian Navy has reported that they have located potential remains.
The Royal Malaysian Navy has located one body at sea, and officials are working to determine whether it is one of the missing sailors.
And after those collisions, the U.S. Navy is dismissing Vice Admiral Joseph Aucoin as the commander of the U.S. 7th Fleet. The Navy cited a loss of confidence in the three-star admiral after the McCain collision. Reports also cited the USS Fitzgerald collision with a cargo ship back in June. Aucoin's removal is one of many Navy dismissals following these accidents. The two senior officers from the USS Fitzgerald were relieved of duty last week.
An update now from Charlottesville, Virginia, where some of their Confederate monuments will soon be covered up. City leaders decided to cover the statues of Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson as a way to mourn. The unanimous votes were cast in the first council meeting since violence broke out in the city on August 12th, just steps away from where those two statues sit. Across Charlottesville, demands for the complete removal of Confederate monuments on public property are still being heard. One city council member explains why they decided to cover them up instead.
We are not allowed by the courts at this point, because of the injunction, to do anything physical to the statues. We can't put up scaffolding or anything like that. But this seemed like something that we could do that doesn't damage the statue in any way. It's not in violation of the injunction, but that it does express our sorrow as a community for what's happened.
There's no word yet on how soon the statues will be covered up. Several Charlottesville city councilors say they plan to start making changes in the next few weeks.
All right, 5:37, switching gears now. Tonight's Powerball jackpot has grown to an estimated $700 million. That's the second biggest jackpot in the game's history. The cash payout would be about $443 million, still not too bad. Keep this in mind. The odds of winning, though, about 1 in 292 million. Each ticket will cost you $2. A former lottery worker was sentenced to 25 years in prison for rigging the system in several states so he could collect jackpots. An Iowa judge gave former security director Eddie Tipton the maximum sentence. Tipton admitted to rigging computer codes to produce winning numbers, netting Tipton and his accomplices millions of dollars. Back in Florida, lawyers want to see Venus Williams' cell phone data months after she was involved in a deadly car crash across the state. The records will be turned over to lawyers for the victim's family. 78-year-old Jerome Barson died after a June car crash with the tennis star in Palm Beach Garden. His family wants those cell phone records to find out if Williams was on the phone and distracted prior to that crash. Her lawyers say she wasn't distracted and she has not been cited or charged.
An update now on the Pulse nightclub shooting that happened just over a year ago. The security firm operating at the nightclub is now being sued by survivors of the shooting, but it says it had nothing to do with the gunman's actions. The security company says it never employed gunman Omar Mateen as a security guard, but its smaller company did. The victim's lawsuit states Mateen's employer could have stopped the attack before it happened. However, the security firm says the lawsuit should be dismissed since Mateen wasn't working for them at the time and didn't use its weapons.
The Florida Supreme Court has rejected a death row appeal, setting the stage for an execution tomorrow night. This is Mark Assay. He was convicted of killing two men in separate encounters in Jacksonville back in 1987. He told his sister he is prepared to die if it is God's will. His case has gone on for 30 years of legal paperwork and appeals. This will be Florida's first execution tomorrow night in 18 months.
Well, Floridians who are on public assistance may soon not be allowed to use food stamps to buy soft drinks. A Republican state representative has filed a bill for the 2018 session that would ban people from using food assistance benefits to buy soda. The proposal directs the Florida Department of Children and Families to ask for a federal waiver that would allow the state to ban the use of benefits to buy soft drinks. Those who support the bill say government benefits should only be used for healthy food, while opponents say the legislation violates people's rights.
I'm not sure that it makes sense for the government to be in someone's shopping cart when they're shopping, especially in light of the fact that they're spending their money the same way that all families are spending their money. And the occasional sweet, the occasional birthday cake for someone who's celebrating their 6th birthday, it seems kind of punitive.
Similar legislation filed during last year's session died during the committee process.
In Florida, high school students who can take French or Spanish or perhaps computer coding. One state lawmaker is once again pushing a plan that would give students credit for computer coding as if it's a foreign language class. The plan has made progress in the past in Tallahassee, but never made it for a final vote yet. Students who take the courses would be able to satisfy 2 foreign language credits. Florida colleges would also have to accept the coding courses as foreign language credits.
Well, an unusual drug bust out of Germany this morning. Police say 5,000 ecstasy tablets shaped like President Donald Trump's head were found in a car in Germany. Authorities say the pills are worth over 39,000 euros, which is around 46,000 US dollars. A 51-year-old man and his 17-year-old son appeared in court in connection to the bust, but it's unclear what charges they now face.
And speaking of collectibles, the excitement over the solar eclipse is over, but now what to do with those glasses that were once hard to find? One group wants to take them off your hands. Astronomers Without Borders plans to host a program to collect eclipse glasses, will then distribute them to other countries for future eclipses in their countries. This project is still in the planning stages, so hold on to your glasses and ask the company you bought them from if they will be taking part. They were so hard to find beforehand, but once the eclipse happened, I saw them everywhere on desks in the newsroom.
Oh, I know. I got to get my hands on one pair for the next eclipse because I am not taking chances this time.
Plan ahead. 7 years, right?
I know.
Exactly, 2024.
Okay, you're getting ready.
I am. I'm ready. I didn't get to see it this year because of it.
You didn't see it at all, did you?
I didn't get to see it through the glasses because I didn't have a pair.
You know, John Scalzi promised us 2 glasses.
We got to get on
And
him
then
when
he
he
left.
gets back.
Then he left without a trace.
I don't know what to say about that.
Did you have glasses?
If I was working, I would have gotten you glasses, but that's just, I don't know. No. John's a good guy. Anyway, yeah, we're going to have tropical moisture move into the area. That's going to definitely change our weather. We'll talk more about it in a few minutes.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert traffic. And parents will do almost anything to keep their children safe, but sometimes they don't always realize that certain medications could be dangerous to their little ones.
We'll have some safety tips for parents up next in Health Smart.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Good to see you on this Wednesday morning. We are now on hump day, so we only have 2 more days until Friday. Let's check out the current temperature right now in Sarasota. 77 degrees, but the dew point is 77, making the humidity 100%, so that means there could be some areas of patchy fog, so look out for that on your morning commute on this Wednesday morning. Checking out what's going on here in the tropics really quickly, there's a couple of areas we're watching very closely. One is not going to affect us, but this could become the big weather story by the weekend. And then this system here actually will be affecting us, and we'll break that down for you in just a second. But our radar right now remains quiet along the Suncoast. Dry air, though, is eroding away because of this tropical moisture that's going to be ushered in from this system to the southeast. An area of low pressure, it's really not organized, could intensify a little bit, but it's just not going to get its act together enough to strengthen to become any sort of a major storm, but it will inundate us with some heavy rain. If you're traveling out of Sarasota today, there really is no issues with any of these airports here. We're talking about going to Atlanta, LaGuardia, Chicago, or Charlotte. No issues there. Some weather around Texas and Oklahoma, but nothing severe at this time. All right, looking at the futurecast, we'll start off with sunshine. Then clouds will be on the increase, and look what happens by the later part of the afternoon. The beginnings of this tropical moisture from the southeast start to come in here, and we could have some areas of some heavy rain with some of these thunderstorms that take place. Of course, the sea breeze convergence. And that's going to linger into tonight. Get a little bit of a break for the beginnings of our Thursday, maybe about 24 hours from now, Thursday morning. But then by Thursday afternoon, the second round of this tropical moisture comes in here. And as you can see, some areas around Florida could be just hammered with some very heavy rain. Saw one report, maybe up to 6-7 inches of rain in some spots in southeast Florida. For us, maybe about 2 to 4 inches in some locations once this is all wrapped up and done, which should be by this weekend. But still, we're going to get our share of wet weather from this. The other area of disturbed weather is down here in the Yucatan Peninsula. This is what was once Harvey, could re-strengthen, probably will re-strengthen back into Harvey and become a tropical storm, potentially a hurricane. As you can see, disturbance number 2, models are basically taking it into Florida and then whipping it back to the north and east. Some models take it into the Gulf of Mexico. We'll just have to look at it very closely, see what happens here. Depending on how long it lingers around, will depend on how much rain we receive. it just sits there and spins, it's going to bring a lot of tropical moisture into the area. Once again, here's what will probably become Harvey again and then track towards Texas. Not going to affect us, but it's still going to be possible minimal hurricane. We are edging towards the peak of the hurricane season, which happens to be September 10th. So any sort of flare-up that happens in the tropics, we watch very closely at this time of the year. It's going to be a warm day today, 93 degrees, but there's your tropical moisture for the next couple of days, and then things start to taper off by the weekend and into early next week. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you so much, Josh. Taking a look at traffic in Manatee County, looks like State Road 70 heading east and westbound as you pass by 301, seeing some congestion, also 301 heading southbound. And in Sarasota County, the really only big slowdown is over towards the Bayfront, also 41 heading into South County, pretty quiet throughout that area at 5:50 on your Wednesday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, keeping the kids away from your medications is certainly vital, but other contents in your medicine cabinet could also pose risks. Kim Hutcherson has more.
So most medications, whether it be over-the-counter medications, prescription, herbal medications, it's always best to keep them out of sight and out of reach of children.
Advice for caregivers from medical experts on how to keep kids away from potentially dangerous medicines. And it's not just prescriptions or over-the-counter medications you have to worry about.
You have herbal medications. You have even creams. There are children that ingest creams because it's something they don't think about as medication. Eye drops, hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer has alcohol in it, and something as simple as just rubbing alcohol, peroxide. These are things that, if ingested by a child, can be very harmful.
Keep kids' medicine in its original packaging, not a pill planner.
But you run into the risk of not knowing what the medication's for. You have so many medications that look alike. If it's not in the exact bottle that it comes in, then you could be overdosing or underdosing.
Instead of leaving medicine out so you remember it, take advantage of technology.
So I would definitely recommend setting those alarms on your phone to remind you to take your medication. And when you do have the medication to take, whether it's for a child or for an adult, you definitely want to make sure it's stored out of the reach of children.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Up next, we'll update the day's top local news headlines, and two high-profile government workers in South Carolina have a fun exchange on Twitter.
We'll give you the details on this friendly war of words when we come back.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabein.com.
Let's take a look at some of the top stories on the Suncoast today.
By a 4-3 vote, Manatee County commissioners plan to remove this Confederate monument from the grounds of the old courthouse. They plan to have public hearings before moving the monument someplace else.
Plus, Manatee commissioners will also vote today on another huge issue. Developers want to build thousands of homes for a project called Aqua by the Bay.
And Venice City Council studying the idea of banning shark fishing on the pier. They're concerned about both the safety of luring sharks and some illegal activities among fishermen.
Finally this hour, two notable South Carolinians passing some playful words between each other on Twitter. It all started when Office of Management and Budget Director Mike Mulvaney went to wish Republican Representative Trey Gowdy happy birthday. His tweet included a series of images that showed the South Carolina lawmaker styling various hairstyles. He returned the gesture a few hours later with his own tweet. Now, they are both Republicans who served as U.S. representatives from South Carolina together. Although it is actually Gowdy's birthday, he's not 60 years old like Mulvaney claimed in his tweet. He turned 53 on Tuesday. That's fun. Some good fun to have.
Two sensitive issues, haircuts and age.
There you go.
We'll have more local news and weather after this. Stay with us.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.